Alright, I am at the point of trying to develop scale length. Right now I have the neck sitting in the pocket as far back as it can go. It's nice and tight. And with these unfinished bodies that I buy, they don't supply any pre-drilled holes. You have to establish everything yourself. So Strat style guitar, Telecaster, Strat, their scale length is 25.5 inches, which roughly means from the edge of the nut, which is, let's see if we can get this camera up here, way up here, from the edge of this nut where it meets the neck all the way to the 12th fret, and then from the 12th fret to the top of the nuts where the bridge saddles are, should be 25.5 inches. So it should be 12 3/4 of an inch to this 12th fret, and then 12 3/4 of an inch to the right where the adjusters are on the saddles. Should be 12 3/4, which roughly this is the center. 12th fret is actually center of your scale, center of your guitar scale. So from this bone nut to the 12th fret, you have all your keys, and then from the 12th fret out, the keys repeat themselves. So this is the second half of the neck. Everything's in a higher register naturally. Like I say, these guitars do not come pre-drilled. You have no neck holes, you have no bridge holes, so you have to establish it yourself. I think that's why they're so cheap, because a lot of the machining is not done. Like for example, say there's no holes whatsoever. Nothing. Oops, nothing on the neck pocket. Just keep denting my guitar. It didn't dent, but I gotta be more careful. So yes, so we're gonna establish scale length. Strat scale length, 25.5 inches. When you hear that number called out, then you know why. It's 25.5 inches from edge of nut to middle of bridge saddle adjuster screws. So what I do, and I've been doing it, and I've been building a couple of guitars. I use this aluminum yardstick, which got a really good straight edge to it, and I set it, and it's got the measures on it, which is great. So I set it on the neck, and what I do is, I can see I'm at 12 3/4 here. So I line the edge up over the low E string, the center of the low E string. Right there. I centered that over that, and then I centered that yardstick over the center of the bridge saddles. So right there, oh, I moved it a little bit. Right there, that's the edge of the string. A lot of guys will use 2 strings. They'll string it up 1, 2 all the way down. I've been using the yardstick method. I've already set this one up, so I've taped it so it won't move. So that is exactly 25.5 inches right over the middle of that bridge saddle. So now I'll just move the yardstick over to the other side where the high E string is, get the center of the groove, bring this over to the center of the saddle. I just gotta move it over a little bit more. And there's my reveal on there. But I'm not 25.5, so I have to turn the saddle this way, the whole bridge assembly. And also, I leave enough screw in the throat of the saddle, the adjuster, so if it does have to come forward, most of the times you have to bring your saddles back for intonation reasons, but I leave enough screw in there that I have to go forward. I have enough there in the block where I don't have to worry about it. So let's see. Right there is the center, and let's move this over just a wee bit more. And here's my reveal. I got about 1/8 on the E string, the high E. The low E is not as wide for some odd reason. You want to get the same exact measure. So I might have to fiddle with this a little bit more, adjust it one way or the other. But actually, that's not bad, because that you do a lot of the busy work up here on this low E string. So you don't want it too far into the neck. So we got 25.5 over the saddle, right over the nut, the adjusted nut, 25.5. We're butt up in there. We're right up in the middle of the groove for the notch for the string and the bone nut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it. Check it again. Okay, so now that's done. We'll check the low E again. There's the low E. 25.5. And the real reveal is about the same. It's about the same. So I'm going to go with that. So this works great straight edge. You got to get a nice aluminum yardstick with a nice straight edge on it. And also you have to make sure that these saddles are all level across, because you know they got these adjusters, so sometimes the saddle's like this, and if one is leaning, it actually will kick the saddle out one way or the other. So you got to make sure they're all flat against each other and they're all uniformly straight. So you don't want to see any light through the saddle. You want to see all the same distance. You don't want ones up and down, because that's going to throw you off, especially on the ends. So now I know I have a 25.5 inch scale. I'm lined up on my neck. So what I do is I'll go out and I will take scratch all. And just on the 2 outside holes, I'll find the center of it carefully. Make a little divot. So now my 2 outside holes, I have put 2 screws in. Pre-drill, put 2 screws in, and then we'll do the other ones, and we'll infill the other ones. But I'll put the 2 screws in, make sure everything's okay, put the yardstick back on, and we'll take it from there. So back in a bit. All right. I've already drilled the 2 holes. So what I did was I took a drill bit and I took the actual screw shoulder, and I don't know if you can see this. Hello? I don't know if it's showing right. So I don't know if you guys are picking this up. This is tough to do. I didn't go past the bottom of the screw, but I went enough where it's just about at the bottom, as if it were going to give a little bit. And I just take the drill bit on those 2 ones that I punched, and you pre-drill at the stop. Like I said, I've already done this. And that's it. So now we take the bridge, and what I do is I get this stuff. It's feed and wax, which is really good for fretboards, rosewood fretboards and stuff. It's really great for it. But I use it as a lubricant for the screws. So I'll take a little dollop like this on the end of the screw, and then I'll get the screw started, and I will use just a regular hand screwdriver. I don't want to use any power tools on this point. And we're just going to drive that screw down into its hole. This wood is really soft. Harder woods, I mean, I could have got away with not using any of the beeswax. But the harder woods, you definitely should wax them. And do it as though you're threading metal too. Go a little at a time, back it out a little at a time, and keep introducing wax. It lubricates the screw and it prevents it from snapping inside. Because a lot of these bridges and stuff, the metal it's coming from China. A lot of the metal is really not it's not really hardened, so you can snap heads off. I've done it, and it's a pain in the bugger to get them out. So we're just going to set that down, and we're going to get the bridge in position, and I'm just going to pre-mark all the other holes and drill them all and set them down. and that'll be part 1 of building the Dave Murray tribute Strat. So hit the like button, subscribe button. If you don't, it's cool too, but help the channel out. We're going to try to get this thing going. I really like doing these guitar videos. I really like working on these guitars. And we also have some car work going on. We're going to be doing a couple of videos on the Camaro, the orange Camaro Bertha. We're going to put some new LED headlights in her. And I'm going to redo the hood. I have a fiberglass hood on a fiberglass hood scoop cowl on a steel hood, and the dissimilar products, when the sun hits it, just moves around too much. It cracked. Like the first week out, I had it out in the sun, it cracked all around the outside edges, and I just gave up on it. I don't want to try to fix it anymore. I was trying to fix it. I fixed it once and it did it again. So I have a fiberglass hood for it, and I'm going to put a fiberglass cowl on it, and we're going to do a little video series of that. So that's how I set up a bridge to get your guitar scale, which is your length from point A to point B. Like I say, 25.5 inches is the Fender scale. So you want to go 12 3/4 to the 12th fret, and then 12 3/4 to the middle of the bridge saddle, and that'll get you in the ballpark, and then you can fine tune it when you do your intonation. So thanks for watching, commenting if you want. Let me know if I'm doing something stupid. All this stuff seems to be working for me, so maybe there's another way of doing it. But give me a shout out. Alright, peace fellas.